Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to day 4. Let's jump straight up, shall we, and see where we are and what's going on. So, if you remember when we left off last time, we did that huge job and ended up with 125k. We did buy ourselves a large backpack. We've still got the Cutlass Black that we rented. We've got all of our gear, so we're in a pretty good state to be able to go out if we need to. And we need to go and figure out what we're going to do today. So, just to recap, the first day we made 30k by doing a delivery, investigation, and the bunker. If you remember, we did the evaluation, which was a 10k bunker mission. Day 2 we did the cave, which was the mining of the Hadanite inside a cave. And then day 3 we went and did a 34k investigation mission, which was a depot mission. And we made 90k selling all of the guns and armor and everything that we had as a result of that. So that was pretty good. So now we need to decide, well, what do we do today? And also, what is our outcome? What are we working towards? Well, my opinion is that it's really good right now to have a lot of different opportunities. And one of the best opportunities in the game right now, I believe, in the contracts, and this could change, but is salvaging. But in order to do that, we need a ship. So we're going to have to look at what it's going to cost us to buy a ship for salvaging. That's going to be the Vulture. Now, you can check all the prices. There is a website, and we'll talk about websites in another video. We don't need to worry about that too much now. But what we need to understand is that we're going to need about 2 million in credits to be able to buy that ship. And at the moment, we're just renting this ship. And so we have to look at what's available. So if we have a look at our investigation, we've only got a 12k, so we don't have the 34k mission on investigation. If we look at mercenary tab, we can see that we can go and do ourselves a 10k mission if we want to. We can also do a 15k mission if we want to, which is a bit more. We have to defend a location and deliver confidential materials. So we could do this one. This 15k mission might give us a little bit more, but we're still going to have to drag everything out of the facility. And we can do this one. It depends if you want to. We can also do some wildlife missions. We can go and do some other missions. But I think because we've got the Cutlass Black, what we're going to do right now is we're going to go and do some more mining. Now, if you remember in the cave, we did some cave mining. So we're not actually going to take a contract at the moment. We don't need to. What we're going to do instead, for the purpose of this, in case there aren't any contracts available, we're actually going to jump in our Cutlass Black. And it's right here. And we're going to go and do a different type of mining. Now, in order to do this, I'm not going to need any of this gear. All of this gear that I've got on me, I don't actually need any of it. So I can leave all of this behind if I want. I can put all of this inside the local here. So if I check all of my gear here, I can drop off the armor. I can drop off the legs. I can drop off the backpack. I can take off the arms. I don't need any of this gear. I'm obviously not going to take off the helmet because I do need a helmet on. And it does always help to have a small bit of gear on me. So the arms, they're cheap enough. I can get those. The gun, I will always take a gun with me. And I will take the chest rig. But I'm going to leave everything else behind. Oh, I guess I can take the legs as well, it's fine. I'll take the chest rig, but I'm going to leave behind the backpack. I'll take a multi-tool because it's always good to take a multi-tool with you. Always good to have one of those on hand. Want to make sure we've got the right attachment on it as well. So making sure we've got not the mining attachment or the health one. We're going to make sure we've got the to pick up boxes. And we do want to take, always good to take a gun. You never know when you're going to need one. So we can take a little gun with us. So if we have a look at weapons, we've got this LH pistol. We can just take a LH pistol with us. Excellent. And then we're going to take just a couple of med pens, just in case we need them. Alright, so we pretty much got everything here. There's nothing else that we need to take with us. We can look at ammo and just see what we've got, but we don't really need anything. We're pretty good at this stage, so... Yep, that's us. We're good to go. Alright, so with that being said... we're going to just have a look at what multi-tool we've got. So we can see here it's got detach mode on it, or a tractor, so we know we've got the right one with us. We've got our ship. We'll go and jump in that. Just wait for that elevator to come. There it is. And we want hangar 3. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to head outside for the first time of Microtech. We're going to go to a different area within the system. Now the Cutlass Black's going to get us there a lot quicker than if we were to take the starter ship. So we're going to make the most of this while we have it. But in case there's any problems, we're not expecting to run into anybody. We shouldn't see anybody. If we do, well, we'll deal with that if we see anybody. But we shouldn't run into anyone. So just double checking, making sure we've got everything that we need. Oh, actually, we have the F71 with us. So what we'll do, we'll just take a couple of magazines just for the F71, just because we've got it on us. We shouldn't come into any trouble, but if we do, I mean, magazines are so cheap anyway, it really doesn't matter. So we can just take a couple of those. Alright, so at least we are, if we get into a situation, we are protected, we are okay, but we should be okay with the fact that if we lose this gear, it doesn't matter. Very cheap and easy for us to be able to get this back. Okay, so we're going to take off. Now lift up the landing gear. And whilst this is opening, waiting for the doors, we're going to go to our map. And we're going to zoom out and look at where we're going to head towards. We're actually going right to the other side of the system. We're going to head towards Crusader. And that's going to be our starting point. So if we go to Crusader, there's going to be, in fact, if we go to, I think it's L2, was it L1? Yep, so we're going to go to Crusader L1, the Ambitious Dream Station. That's where we're going to head for. Right here, this is the space station outside Crusader, which is Crew L1, the Ambitious Dream Station. That's where we're going to head. So let's get out first, whilst we're in here. Alright, now we're out, we won't be obstructed. So now we can go back and we can type that in again. So
thank you, and please visit again.
We can even just type in Dream because we know the name of it now. So Crew L1 Ambitious Dream Station. There we go. We're going to route towards it. And we can see it's actually going to take us a second to go to OM marker 1. But then it's going to take us 8 minutes. 8 minutes to quantum there. So we're going to have a bit of time. But that's okay. So I know exactly what I can do during that time to make it valuable for us. So whilst we're heading over to this new system. And we're going to be there for a little while. So we're going to set up a new respawn point once we get there. Because if we die here, we don't want to have that 8-minute journey to go back again. So we'll set a respawn point at that new space station. And then if we do die, we can just respawn there. And there it is. It's 55.9 gigamillion, I guess. Or however many million. But this is an 8-minute quantum drive that we're going to take now. So we're just going to have to sit there and wait for that. And whilst we're waiting for that, I'm just going to bring up a website just to talk you through a couple of things. So the first website that I'm going to bring up is ROC Games. So I'll just bring this up on the screen. Okay, and then we can talk about this. So ROC.games has what's called a live calculator. Now in this live calculator, you can actually choose your ship. So if I was to select a vehicle and say I had we know it's a Drake, and we know we're in a Cutlass Black. This is all of the standard equipment that comes on a Cutlass Black. What I could do is, if I wanted a better quantum drive, for example, I could click on this, and I can see all of the options that are available to me. Now, the one that I currently have is the Odyssey. That is a civilian grade C with a max speed of 124,000 kilometers a second. But I can get much, much better if I look at max speed. I can actually get 260 in terms of a top speed. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to compromise a little bit of distance on that and maybe some efficiency. So now we can start to look at the different types that are available. And we can even look at where we can get them. So if we were to go for the XL1 because it had the maximum speed, but maybe we want something with a bit more distance. So maybe 235 would be good because even though it's got less max speed, it's got more distance. Almost an extra 20% distance if that's important. But we can have a look at this and we can see how long it's going to take. So Microtech to Arc Corp. It's going to take 4 minutes. You can see how much it's going to take us in terms of fuel. So we know we're going about 55, we said, at the moment. So if we go back and look at the game, we're obviously still traveling. If I go inside the ship and have a look, we've still got 44.2 left to go. So what that basically means here is that if we had 44 left to go, it's going to take 3 minutes, whereas actually it's going to take us more like 5 or 6 minutes. So this is really good to be able to see. And also, if we click on this part that we've just ordered, the XL1, it tells you where you can buy it and how much it costs. So I can go to Platinum Bay in Port Tresla. It's going to cost me 94,000 credits to buy that new quantum drive. Now, the only reason I won't do that right now is because I'm renting the ship and you can't upgrade rentals. But if you purchased and owned the ship, this is a really good website to be able to see the different weapon systems, shields, power plants, coolers. And you can really get an idea of all of the different things, the missiles, the guns. You're going to want a quantum drive. You'll always want to upgrade your quantum drive because you're going to be traveling. And this just allows you to do it so much more efficiently. Specifically if you're going to be trading and moving around. But then if you're going to be fighting, you're going to want better shields. Now with a quantum drive, that's going to draw more power, which means you're going to need to upgrade your power plant. And also if you're in a lot of fights, you're going to find that your equipment overheats quicker, and so the coolers are going to cool your systems down. So upgrading your quantum drive, your coolers and your power plants are kind of the basics that you want to do every time when you can. And a lot of these, they're not really going to offer that much in terms of power, but it's the power request time. See, if you look at some of these, this takes 18.75 seconds to request the power that it requires to fill up this, to get you 100% power. Whereas this one only takes, if we look at the other end, 1.25 seconds. But you can see it's only got half the power. So what we need to do is we need to strike a balance to find what is something that's going to be good. Maybe the JS400, which is a military A grade. It's got 10,000 power, which is near the top. But it only takes 10 seconds for a power request time, which is actually quite a good balance. Quite a good balance when you consider that everything in the quadracell is the same, except for it's an extra 5 seconds to spool up. So something like the JS400 we can see here, and we can see where to buy it and how much it costs. So like 50,000 credits, we can buy it from most of these areas. So this is just going to give you a really good understanding of all of the parts that you can buy for your ship. All right, let's just head back to our ship and we'll see where we are. Now we can see we've still got 26.1 to go, so still quite a long way to go. So I'm going to show you another website now, a different website that you can use, because this one's going to come in quite powerful a little bit later on. So this website that I'm going to recommend to you on top of what we've just done is called uexcorp.space. Let's bring this over. This is uexcorp.space, another really, really good website. This one tells you about vehicles. So let's say I wanted to buy a vehicle, I can look at what I'm after. So if I wanted to buy, for example, or even to rent, and let's say I wanted to buy myself a Cutlass Black, which is what we're currently in. So the Cutlass Black holds 46 SCU of containers. I can see it's 2.1 million, and I can buy that in Lawville at the Tessa Spaceport in New Deal. So I'd have to go to the spaceport, it's a New Deal, in Lawville, 2.1 million, and I can buy one of these, so I don't have to rent it anymore. What we're actually working towards at the moment, though, is what's called the Drake Vulture. It's 2.6 million. It's only got 12 SCU of cargo, but it's a salvaging ship, and we also buy it in Lawville at New Deal. So this is what we're aiming for at the moment. 2.6 million is what we need. What's also really important about this website is not only can you see where to rent, loan, and everything like that, I can also go to looking at trade routes. If I click on trade and routes, and I type in the ship that I'm currently using here, which is the Cutlass Black. So I'm just going to look down for the Cutlass. Okay, the Cutlass Black is here. And I put in what is my maximum investment. So I want to invest 100,000 credits. It's then going to tell me all of the trade routes that if I was to invest 100,000 credits on a Cutlass Black. Oh, there we go. It tells me that, and if I do this, this one is illegal. Oh, I don't want to do that. But I can go from ROC Corp with 100,000, and I can take Agricium to the trade distribution at Orison, and I'm going to make about 23,800 in profit from this route. So this is a really, really good opportunity for you to be able to find different routes and places that you can go. And so it's a really, really good idea for you to be able to get this idea. Now, if I scroll down here and I type in loop, so I want a loop where I can go back on myself. Now it's going to give me less profit, but what I can do here is I can go from Deakins to Buds, and then Buds back to Deakins. Now it also tells you roughly how long you're going to spend on this route. So you'll get the idea of going from Deakins to Buds, going back from Buds to Deakins. This is about a 15 to 20 minute round trip, and I'm going to make about about just over 20k as a result of this. Also, you can see the inventory. So a really, really good opportunity there to be able to use a couple of websites to get a really good idea of some trade routes that you can do. Now, you can also say where you're departing from. So we're going to be at a place called Daymar, which is where we're going to go down to. So knowing that we're going to go down to Daymar, which is where we're going to look for Hadanite. Because right now, what we're doing is we're taking our Cutlass Black and we're taking it across to Crew L1, because that's the space station above Crusader. We're going to set a new spawn point to regenerate from the medical center if we need to. Once we've done that, we're then going to go, because at Crew L1, because it's an L1, this is a refinery station. Meaning that there's going to be a different, in the elevator, there's going to be a different station, a refinery. And from there, we're actually going to be able to rent the ground vehicle that we need, which is a ROC. This is a mining vehicle. So there we go, we've still got a bit of distance to go, 35 million miles still. For some reason, it's not actually letting us go there, and I don't know why. So we're just going to press F1, or F2, sorry. Going to look at the map. Oh, there we go. So all I needed to do was literally come into the map, go out, and it's working. So that was a bit strange, but let's just finish off that distance. Alright, so here we are, a new space station. So we're going to fly in towards this. And it can be sometimes a little bit hard to see. Depends if there's clouds or anything going on. Got to be careful of asteroids as well. Asteroid belt mining is something else we can do in the future if we want to. We're not going to do that right now though. So we're going to head in towards this station. Once we do the normal thing of getting up to 10k out, we'll request to land. Again, heading just over it in case we overshoot because of our speed.
Hello, and thank you for contacting EDL Landing Assist.
Okay. So here we are, we're coming in now. And it's going to put us into Hangar 2, which is just down here, so this is fine. So we can see we want to go onto this side now, making sure we don't hit anything on the way down. Excellent. Okay. So we're going to lower our max speed just so that we can maneuver and we're not going to go flying into a wall, which is important. And then we're just going to nicely approach. And as we get close enough, we're simply going to put our landing gear down. And that's going to allow us to nicely just glide into the hangar. What we don't want to do at this point is crash because, well, we'd have to come all the way back here again. And that would be a waste of time. So what we're trying to do now is find all of the different opportunities to see which one makes us the most money and also which one do we enjoy the most. And this is really where you're going to start discovering your gameplay loops. What do you prefer to do? Maybe you like to PvP, maybe you like to dogfight. We haven't even done any dogfighting yet. But there's lots of different opportunities. So for now what we're going to do is we're going to jump out of our ship. Turned our engines off. Now we do need to get a drink and some food. We can see that we're running out. We can also go to the medical bay if we want to. Right, we're going to open up the side door and we're simply just going to jump out. There you go, see the guy shutting the doors behind us. Bigger ships require bigger hangars. And let's head down. So exactly the same as before, we'll take the elevator from the hangar. There we go. Exactly as before. We're going to store the ship exactly as before. And then we're going to head to that medical bay. So it's going to be a different layout. Because every space station is laid out differently. So there we go. We're going to go ahead and store that. Alright, now we're in Crew L1. So again, different layout. We've got to figure out where we're going and what it all looks like. But there's a burrito bar here. So if we want to buy some food or drinks, we can. If we come through here, there's Easy Hab, because there's always an Easy Hab. There's the elevator, and there's a medical clinic. So different layout, everything's laid out slightly differently, but same thing. I'm actually just going to, there we go, head over here to the insurance. And now we're going to set a new regeneration point. So if we die, For any reason, we're going to transfer our imprint, and that's going to bring us back to here. So this is now our new spawn point. We're now here. Alright, now we can head downstairs. Call the elevator. And as you'll see now, there is no cargo bay like before. There's no cargo bay. There's a refinery instead. So we're going to go down to the refinery level. If you remember at Port Tresla there was a cargo bay. That was because it was a main space station above the planet. This one is an L1. So this is now the refinery deck. Looks a lot different, right? But this is cool. We're just going to jump down here. Just go to the right side. That's what we need to remember. And as we run forward, there's two places we can go here. There's the service, which is down in here. We're going to go in there in a second. Or up here, up these stairs. And they're always the same. The refinery decks are always the same. This is where you will buy and sell ore. And where you will do your refining. Now this is something we're going to cover in a later video. We're not going to do that today. We're not refining today. We only want to come into here to the mining support center. Now we can buy some drinks because we need some drinks. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We'll do a quick buy. We'll take our helmet off. And we're going to have a drink. It's always good on the cargo decks or the refinery decks. You'll always get the better drinks. I don't normally bother with the taco stands or anything. I normally just do this. There we go. Back up to 100%. Perfect. Alright, now I am actually going to buy another one. But this one I'm not going to drink. This one I'm actually going to store it. And then I'm going to put my helmet back on. And here we go. So, this is the shop, a refinery shop. So we can actually go and buy, if we want to, all different things like mining lasers. Lots and lots of different stuff here we can find. You can also buy some weapons here if you want to. We're obviously not going to do that. Things are a little bit more expensive here. We're going to go... also, if you don't want anything there, you can have a look at the armor. Different armor. But this is all pretty much... There's a different... It's a Pembroke backpack. Same price, same size. Just a bit different to the one that we bought before. Different legs and arms and things. But you can find something you like. Different clothing that they offer there. But again, we're not going to do that. We're going to this terminal, this side. This is the rental terminal. Now from here, you can actually rent a Cutlass Black if you want to. It's going to cost you 21,000 to rent it from here. You can also rent from here a Grey Cat ROC. So you can see the difference in the price here compared to what we paid before. And you can also use the website that I showed you before to find the vehicles. So for example, if I come back over to this website and we look at, and what we're going to look for here is vehicles. So we're going to look at all vehicles. Now we want to rent a vehicle. So let's say we wanted to check out the Cutlass Black. And we want to see how much it's going to cost and where we can rent it from. You can start to get the idea. The Drake Cutlass Black. You can see here, if we rented it from these places, what it would cost. The cheapest place we could possibly rent this from is going to be, well, we can see we're quite close here. So 21,000 if we got it from the Magnus Gateway, which is Vantage Rentals. So we can have a look at where we are and where we're going to go to get this. But different places, different costs. And at the moment, you'll see that the price that we're getting this for, Drake Cutlass Black to rent it, is actually a lot cheaper than if we were to pay where we went before. So again, just something to help you understand what things costs and where they are. So the Drake Cutlass Black here, 21,000, a lot cheaper to rent it from here. We're actually going to go for the Grey Cat ROC. This is what we want. We're going to rent this ship. We're going to confirm this rental. And we've just rented ourselves a Grey Cat ROC. Alright, also there's a prospector. So this is for mining, if you want to mine asteroids. If you want to mine, you want to use a ship and you want to mine in space, you would use one of these. So again, this is a different game loop. This is using that refinery station. We're not going to do that. That's something we'll look at another day. So that's all we wanted to do here, just to show you it so you could see it, but also understand how to rent the ground vehicles. But now we need to go and pick that ground vehicle up. And to do that, we need to go onto a planet. We can't do it from a space station. So we're going to head up to the elevators. And we're going to go and jump in our ship. So back to the Habs here. We don't need to go to the gallery. We don't need to go to the refinery. Just been there. So now we're going to head back up, jump in our ship, and we're going to head down to a planet. And the planet that we're going to go and do our mining on is Daymar. It's a good starting place, but it's not too popular or too busy. It's not the best, it's not the worst. But it does give us an opportunity for all three types of resources. If you remember from the previous video, there was Hadanite, there was Dolomine, and there was the other one, which is the other one we don't get because it's broken. And the reason it's broken at the moment, for some reason, you can only sell one of them at a time. You have to sell them individually, and it's a bug. We know it's a bug. They're going to fix it. So at the moment, Aphorite, we're just not going to we're not going to even bother mining that. It's too much trouble. Right, Hangar 2 is what we're looking for, and also you just don't get as much. Dolomine's just not as profitable. So Hadanite's what we're looking for. So anything else we're going to ignore. All right, jump into our ship. Checking that there's no one around. I have actually seen people playing this game where they will act as NPCs and try and jump on board your ship and hope you don't notice. So always check. Make sure no one joins you. Summit 1G actually did that a little while ago. If you watch one of his videos, he actually boarded a he boarded a transport ship and hid and installed it. So just be careful. Alright, we're going to take off. We've still got enough hydrogen and contanium. We can see we don't need to top up. We want to head outside. So, although it's been like 20-something minutes of this video already, I wanted to show you the process of moving because it's important. A lot of people would do this off camera. But I want you to know how long it takes, but also not only just how long it takes, but the process of doing it as well, so you can go and do it yourself. Alright, so we're out now. What we're going to do is press F2. Going to go to the map, and we're going to look for Daymar. Okay, so once we get to Daymar, there we go. We can have a look, and what we're looking for is we're looking for a place that we can land that's going to allow us. Now you can search all of these if you want to. There's Jump Town, which is where there's an event going on at the moment. There's ArcCorp. There's a mining area. What we're actually looking for is a place that we can land, which is a mining facility. So as we start to, there we go, Shuben Mining Facility, which is SCD-1. That is exactly where we're going to. Unfortunately, though, it's obstructed, so we can't actually go there at the moment. All right, so we just need to fly out a little bit more. So we'll just head out a little bit more, just so we're not obstructed. And then there we go. That shouldn't be a problem now. Let's try again. So we're going to go to SCD, so Shuben Mining Facility, SCD-1. We can see it's not that far, it's on Daymar. There we go, we're going to route to there. Okay. And now we just simply quantum drive as normal. So it's showing up over here. That's Crusader, so we need to go to Crusader first. And Crusader's not too far away. Now, because we're at Crusader, what we could do is set a spawn point here if we wanted to. I just wanted to show you the difference so you can go to different places and set a spawn point and you understand. But now we're going to be traveling, so if we go and look into our menu, again we can see how long it's going to take us. So not that long, less than a minute to get to Crusader, and 12 seconds to get to Daymar, and 2 seconds to get there. So we could, if we wanted to, go to the space station above Crusader, land there. There's no point. It's like for an extra minute. We're not going to spend that much time here. Which is why I set the spawn point at the mining facility that we're at. Alright, so there's Daymar. Again, for some reason we can't go to it. So we're going to press F2. And then F2 again. Nope. Okay, now for some reason it's letting us. So we just had to go out and go back in. Alright, Daymar, just a few seconds. And then we're going to head down onto the surface, and we're going to land, and we're going to go and pick up our ship. So again, this is going to be a very popular place. There's going to be a lot of people here. This is a place where a lot of people like to come. There could be players, so just need to be aware. Everything we've done so far has been quite away from the public. And at the moment, there's normally 50 to 100 people on a server. Now, I'm on a test server, so there's not that many players. You're going to encounter more players, and I just want you to be aware of that. So you always need to be aware that at any point, you could get attacked. And some people, they feel really good about stealing stuff that doesn't belong to them. Especially if you've had to work hard for it and they don't. So just be aware of pirates. Understand that people will try and take your stuff from you, and it can be quite frustrating to lose it. So always have your wits about you. Right, so what we're looking for right now, before we come down and land here, and for some reason, and I don't know why, it's that's a little bit strange. If I go into F2, I should be looking... Huh. Okay. So we should be looking for the SCD-1. But for some reason that route stopped. I don't know why. So we're going to reroute to it. We're not that far out, but for some reason it was like showing everything, and we don't want to see everything here, so... Okay, that's a bit weird why it's not showing up. Bear with me. Should be showing up on the map. There it is. Okay. I don't know why it didn't show up straight away, but it showed a lot of different locations, which meant the route wasn't working. So that's fine. Now we can see where we're going. The targeting computer's working again. Now what we're looking for, are there any other ships in the area? Is there anything else? And we can use our targeting system by pressing T. There's nothing to target onto, which means there's no one here. That's good. If you see other ships, you'll be able to lock onto them. And if you do that, you're going to know straight away whether they're trying to attack you or not. Alright, in we go. There we go. We can see the mining facility now right in front of us. Beautiful planet. Very rocky. Very open like this. So we're going to be spending a bit of time on this planet, which is why we kind of want to get the ground vehicle from here. Okay, so what I'm looking for at this stage, I'm going to show you as we approach. In order to get the ground vehicles, there's two pads on the left-hand side. You can see them. They're slightly blue on the left-hand side. So you've got the big landing pad, the small landing pad, and then there's two pads on the left-hand side. And that is actually where we're going. So we're going to put our landing gear down. We're going to head down here. We're going to spin our ship around, because we want to make sure the back of the ship is facing that pad. And then what we're actually going to do is land it. And bring it back all the way back. Right, so just making sure that we're in the right place here. Which looks about good to me. Alright, now we're not going to actually hit that. But this looks good. We're going to put it down just here. Nice. And then we're going to turn our engine off. And we're going to jump out of our seat. Now there's no one locking onto us right now, so we're pretty sure we're safe. We are in an armistice zone, so no one can shoot us at the moment. This is an armistice zone. But what we're going to do is we are going to jump out the side. Okay, and we're going to head over to this building here. Again, it's got these two pads, these blue pads. Now, you can see these blue pads. We're going to go into this building next to the blue pads. And this is where we're going to be able to call our ground vehicles from. Now we can go to the other buildings if we want to. We can loot them, but we don't really need to. We're not going to get enough out of them. If you want to, you can. Or if there's one in here that you want to loot, sometimes they do spawn. We're going to come up to this fleet manager terminal. Now this is a different fleet manager, because this is the ground. This is the ground. Now, I do have a Grey Cat STV. This is part of a package I bought, so please ignore it. We're going to pretend we don't have it. I just can't remove it from the fleet manager. We've rented the Grey Cat ROC, so this is all we've got. So we're going to request delivery. And exactly as we would a ship, we're now going to retrieve it. And that, there we go, has just been spawned in front of us. So now we can go out and grab that. Again, we need to just make sure there's no one around us. So we're going to have a quick check around. Make sure there's no one here. I think we're good. Seem to be okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put the ramp down. We're going to run over to our rock. Again, making sure there's no one jumping into our ship. Nope, we're okay. Alright, coming up to the front of the ship. We're going to jump in it. And now we get to play with some ground vehicles. So, enter the driver's seat. And exactly the same as you would a normal ship. You're going to need to start it up. Normally you would do that by pressing the U key. Then we're going to press the I key. So wait for power. Press I, start the engine.
Systems activating.
And then we can... I normally just use the W, A, S and D key. You can use the joysticks if you want. It's really up to you. And if we want to change the camera angle, we can do that as well. I need to set the camera angles up. I haven't got them set up on my keybinds, so it's a little bit awkward. You really actually do need them. There we go. So now I can see it's much, much easier to do it from this view. We're going to chuck this in the back of the Cutlass Black. It does go in, fits in. We're going to make sure we go nicely in. So we want to try and go all the way in so we're not stuck or anything like that. We do want to be able to shut the doors. Alright, and then once we're in, we're just going to turn the engine off. Alright, we're happy. We're kind of in. And then we're going to press Y to jump out of this. So Y to exit vehicle as you would normally. Now I've got a couple of doors open on the ship, right? I could go and shut those doors, or I can simply come and jump into my seat, and I've got a button that closes all the doors. So if I press this button, actually don't remember which button it is, but there's definitely one. There is a button. I don't recall which button it is. So if you ever get stuck and you're in this position where you're like, I don't know what button that is, go to options, go to keybinds, and what we're looking for is the advanced controllers. Looking for all of our keybinds. We're looking for vehicle cockpit, and we're looking for open closed door toggle. All right, so I'm actually going to put this on a joystick. So I'm going to go to vehicle cockpit. I'm going to go to open closed door toggle. It's button 2, input 2. So that's not the right one. I don't want that one. So I'm going to change it for this one. That's flight ready, so we don't want to use that one. I can use button 10. There we go. So I've now assigned that to button 10, which means if I return to the game and press button 10, it's going to shut all of the doors for me, the side and the back. So I don't have to do that. All right, let's go ahead and we're going to take off. All right. So now we've taken off and we're on Daymar, which is exactly where we want to be. But what we don't want is navigation quantum. We want to swap that to be navigation scan. And what we can do now is we can actually set out a scan, set out a signal by setting out a pin. So what we're going to do is we're going to set out a ping. And that ping is going to show us, as you can see in the distance, any rock formations. There's one that's 8.4 kilometers out. And as we look around, we're going to see if there's any others. So again, we're going to press tab and see if anything shows up on our radar. Now there's one there that's just 1.5 kilometers out. So we can head towards this. We can see what it is. Now I'm going to lift the landing gear up so we go a bit faster. You've got to be careful you don't crash. This is really a good opportunity for you to learn how to be able to fly. And what we're going to do is we're going to head down here. And what we're looking for is a cluster. Now this is where it's really difficult. Now you can see this cluster here on the left side that's just appeared. Pretty much when you do your first ping, what you're looking for in your first ping is anything that is in the area. Then you continuously ping, and if anything new shows up under 5 kilometers, that is pretty much, you can guarantee it, going to be a small rock formation like this. Okay, because there's bigger rocks as well, and we can't do anything with those. So we're going to put our landing gear down. We're actually going to land here. Now, if you get good at this, you can actually see, by getting quite close, what type of stones these are. Remember before? We had that opportunity before. These are blue stones. So we know that these are blue. We can even scan these if we want to. We can do a scan. And that's going to tell us what they are. Now, we don't need to scan these. There's no point in us doing that. We can see what they are. Alright. So we can see because they've got that blue tinge on them. We know these are aphrite and we don't want to collect this. If they were green, they'd be dolomite. If they had that kind of hadonite look to them, we know that they'd be. So we need to just make sure there's a couple of things we have set up here. First, we need to make sure we have all of the settings done. So escape options, key bindings, and this is where we can start to look at all of the different key bindings that we might need. So for example, on the joystick, because we're now in scanning, vehicle scanning mode, if we want to activate scanning, we need a button for that. We don't actually have one set up at the moment. So I can set up a button for scanning. I've got that now. Also, if we were looking at the ping system, remember before we looked at the ping system? So we have to find out where that is. And it can be a little bit difficult sometimes. So I think it might be in flight movement. We'd be looking for ping, it's called. Maybe it's not here. Nope, I'd have to find it. It's definitely around, and this is where it can be a little bit overwhelming with so many different options. It could be under scanning. I don't think it is though. It might be under flight radar. Activate ping. There we go. So if we want to activate the ping, we can set a button up for that. So now I've got a ping button set up, and I've got the scanning button set up. So again, you can set all of this stuff up. So now if I want to scan, there's my ping going out, and if I want to scan these, I can press this button, and it's going to do a scan now. So I need to look at the rock. There we go. My scan is in progress. And that's going to confirm in the top right there, we can see we've got aphrite with some inert materials. So 85% aphrite, 14% inert materials. So this isn't really what we want. One, because I told you there's a bug with aphrite, where if we were going to try and sell it, we have to sell one at a time. We really don't want to do that. And two, it's just not as much money for us. So we're going to go and keep looking. Now this is where it becomes difficult. Because what we need to do is we need to be able to scan, but we also need to be able to look around, find the area that we're looking for, and we need to be able to fly without crashing. So there's a real sense of improving your flying abilities. And I think before we get into dogfighting, this is a really calm and easy way for us to be able to practice. Also, we can make some good money from this. Alright, so there's one there, but look at that one. It's 9 kilometers out. So because that's 9 kilometers out, we can head towards it, but we know that that's not going to be what we're looking for. This one, however, that's 8 kilometers out. So again, not really what we're looking for. We're going to keep putting pings out, flying quite close to the surface. And all we're doing at the moment is we're just pinging. That one out is 6.7. So these are too big, these rocks. That basically means we're not going to be able, with our ship, we're not going to be able to break those. Oh, but there's another one. That's there. See, I can actually stop here, but you can see they're big, big rocks on the left there. They're too big for us. So the smaller rocks will show up only under 5 kilometers. So if it's over 5, the rock's too big for us. And we're going to struggle to break it. Now that one's about 8 kilometers out. So again, too big for us. So this is the hardest part, is just flying around and looking for the right rocks. This is where you're going to spend most of your time and where most people struggle. Because not only have you got to be able to fly and manage your ship, but you also need to be able to look at these. And then you need to find out, once you found them, are they the right ones? Because if you fly and they're not hadonite, then you don't want to waste your time, really. And at any point, if you're not having any luck, you can simply fly straight up, find a better spot, and try again. So there's not really that much around here at the moment. We got really, really lucky at the start. And then after that, not really much. So we're going to keep looking. We'll spend a couple more minutes here, and if we can't find anything, well, then we're going to head up. Okay, not really much around here at all. Don't be upset if you crash. It's happened to all of us. You will multiple times. It's okay. It happens. Just need to accept it. Alright, lots of pings going out. Nothing really showing up on the radar, so this is absolutely barren here. I think we picked the worst spot. So what we're going to do now, because we're having no joy, we're actually going to head up. And we're going to head up into space. We're going to find a better location. So we don't have to head up too far, but we're going to swap our nav back to quantum. We're going to head up to the altitude so that we can move. And then we're going to look for the orbital markers. Remember, there's different orbital markers. So the orbital marker that we're going to look for on the planet, or I think we actually have, if I press F2 here, yeah, I need to cancel that because I had a route set. Now I want to see everything. But we're going to look, there's orbital marker 5. We're going to keep looking around. There's orbital marker 1. If we go to orbital marker 1, it's always going to be daylight. Orbital marker 1 is always in the day. And so here we go. We can see if we scroll down. We're going to go for kind of towards the mounting area here. And we're just going to fly down. So you've got to kind of look at the map, pick an area. We're going to go for this kind of raised, rugged area here. Hopefully we'll find a bit more stuff. Maybe we'll go for the one on the right here instead. So we're going to go for this one. And we're just going to fly down. No, we're not going to go for that. We're just going to fly straight down. Now it's going to take us a little while to get down there. But this is all good. We are traveling, as you can see, at 11,025 meters a second, so as fast as we can travel. You can also, at this point, put cruise control on. If you have the cruise control button set up, that turns your navigation into a circle on the left side. So now we're just cruising. Just please remember to turn it off, otherwise you'll crash. And you can just kind of appreciate what it's like. How vast this game is with all of these planets, with no loading screens, with the transition from surface to sky to space. Very seamless. And now you can understand, because of the scale of this game and how the players need to interact in a persistent universe in real time, the server load and the challenges, which is why we're waiting for the next version to come out with what's called server meshing. Hopefully it's going to increase the stability of the servers, because that's been the biggest hindrance so far, has been server stability. But even with the bugs, server instability, some of the challenges that we've faced, it's still an incredible game or simulator so far, and one that I think you're going to very much enjoy playing. So we're going to come out of cruise control now. As we can see, we're heading down now, 20,000 meters above. We don't want to crash. We can actually put a ping out at this point, but we're not going to find too much. We don't want to crash, so we definitely want to start heading up. Slow ourselves down a little bit. Kind of get ourselves to about 5,000, which is good. And start to ping. So now we're going to swap over again to the scan. So we're in scan mode. It's going to slow us down as well. We're going to put the pings out. And we're going to see if we can find anything. So exactly what we did before. Alright, there's one there, but that's like 9k out, so a bit too far for us. Alright. So what we're looking for is anything with, and that's another one that's 8k out, that's too far out for us. We're looking for anything that's within 5k. Two there, but they're too far out. So we're looking for a new one. That one's 7. There we go. One's just shown up there. That was 2k out. I don't know if you saw it. We're going to put our space brake on. Turn ourselves around. And there we go. This is going to be one just down here. Because that just showed up under the 5k mark. So we'll put our landing gear on. We'll head down.
Landing gear down.
And you'll see this break up as we get closer to show us all the different little icons. And that means it's going to be a small cluster. Oh, sorry, wrong one. Alright, want to put that ping out. There it is. There we go. So that's what we're looking for. It's right on the cusp there, which is why it's hard for us to see. And again, we want to get close enough to see what they are. Now, these have got like a blue hover over them. One of them's purple there. So we're going to just take our time. We're going to scroll down. If we can't see what it is, we can put the lights on the ship. Remember, we always have that ability. We could get out and go and investigate, but we don't really want to if we can help it. We just want to get as close as we can. And if we need to, we can also scan them, remember? So we can also, there we go, get a little bit closer, do a scan. Need to stay hovered over to get that scan working. And that is Hadonite. That is what we're looking for. Perfect. So we're going to land up right next to these. It's taking a bit of time to do this, but this is all good. You can actually see it now. We're getting closer. It's got that purple tinge to it. You kind of get used to it after a while. Alright, so we're going to turn our engines off. Jump out of our ship. And exactly the same as we did before, but this time we're just simply doing it. Now, we're not in an armistice zone now, which means we have to be careful. Because we could at this point get shot down. Also, if we're not able to reach this because of the way we parked, we might need to, because it's quite difficult to get over, we might actually need to go and open the doors from the other side because we can't get through either side here. It is a bit of a tight fit. Now, a way around this is you could put these seats down, jump on the seat, and then from there you can actually jump over. But it can be a little bit finicky, but it does also work. There we go. And then we can open this. But the challenge we now have is we need to get back over again the other way. So, again, you can put the seat down, kind of use the seat to jump on, and jump over if you need to. There we go. Sometimes it's easier to just back in. But yeah, you're going to have a bit of trouble. It's not the best ship, but it does fit. So we're going to jump in. Again, same as before, we're going to press U. Turn our engines on. I'm going to change the view. And I can just back this out. With my really poor driving. Oh, I think it's because I've got the seats. Yep, so I'm actually going to have to put those seats up. I don't think I'm going to get this out with those seats. I might be lucky. I don't think so. I'm going to have to get out. It's a tight fit. Alright, a little bit frustrating, but we'll fix this. So let's just... No, I definitely didn't want to sit down. That was not what I was trying to do there. I want to press and hold F. And I can close the seat. Alright. It's normally better to try... If you bring the rocking to one side, like far left or far right, it's much, much easier to be able to do this. Alright, let's try again. No, I am definitely caught on that seat there. Alright, let's do this. It will go. It's just a little bit buggy. Alright, we're going to keep trying. This is why we need a bigger ship. And why most people would do this off camera, so you never ever see it. Alright, we're stuck. Think we might officially be completely stuck. And the camera angle does not like this. We're actually stuck inside the seat at the moment. There's not really much we can do at this stage. We just need to get free of that seat. Which our wheel is actually right. It's inside that seat now. I don't think it's going to work. Welcome to some of the bugs of the game. Yep, nothing we can do there, unfortunately. Let's just jump out. So in hindsight, not a good idea to mess about with the seats. I don't know why I'm thinking that this might jolt it out the way and move it, but it's not going to. Now we're kind of stuck. This is just a good example of sometimes how this game goes. Right, we did manage to get out of there. Right, let's close that. But we can get around this side now, so that's good. So now we can close this seat. Alright. Hopefully now we've done that, we can get in. It might just work. This is where a lot of the time can end up being wasted. It's taken us an hour so far, and we haven't even got out and done anything. So, oh, sorry, that camera, I apologise. Trying to get inside. Okay, I think we're getting clear of it. Looks like. Yep. We just keep doing this. Should be clear. Alright, that looks clear to me. There we go, and then we can straighten up. And then we'll probably get caught on the other side. I can't handle that camera glitching out. It's doing my head in. There we go. We're out. Oh my god, that took forever. I don't even remember where the rocks are. They're over here. Alright. Sorry about that. I apologise. So, first thing we need to do is we need to get the arm out. So, in order to do that, we need to make sure that we've got the right button set up. So, we need to turn it into mining mode. We're going to need to put... Okay, so I don't actually have that set up on here. So what I need to do is press F1. Sorry, no, escape. Go to options. Go to key bindings. We're on keyboard and mouse at the moment. So we're going to click on this and we're going in vehicle at the moment. We're in vehicle mining. So we're going to look down for vehicle mining. So ground vehicle, we've got the movement and everything else here. We're looking for mining. Vehicles mining. So activate mining mode. We can see here we've got button 1 on the mouse to fire the line. Yep, that's fine. So we need to activate the... Well, the first thing we need to do is activate the arm. So ground vehicle general. Okay. So I'm just going to change that. So I can press a new button for it. Oh, we'll do that in a minute, it's fine. We're not going to do it at the moment, it's fine. Okay. That doesn't actually tell us on there, so we can look at from movement. I don't think that's going to tell us either. Nope, so I think this also is a bug. If I remember rightly, one of the things that we can do if we have a bug like this is you can actually turn the power off. And then you can turn the power back on.
Systems activating. Systems on.
We need the mining arm. So what we're after is this mining arm coming out. Okay. I cannot remember what the key is to activate it. Engines are on. But they're working. Okay, exit seat, we don't want to do that. Open cargo bay, we don't want to do that. Open door, we definitely don't want to do that. Just want to turn on our mining arm. Which for some reason doesn't want to work. Ah, there we go. So for me, I had it set for M. There we go. So mining mode is on. So we've got the mine on. It's exactly the same as before. So what we're going to do is we're on fracture mode. We're going to scan it. We can see the mass. We can see the composition and what it is. We just left click and we're on it. We can still see the bar on the left hand side as normal. So what we're going to do is we're going to zoom up by holding down Alt. We're going to increase the intensity of the laser. And then on the left side, as we get a bit closer, because we can drive a bit closer to this, you can see that going towards that optimal point. So once that gets up into that optimal range, we're going to slow the charge down. Now this is just on a grander scale to what we did before. Now I appreciate this is a longer video, and we've only just got started, but now we're going to turn down the intensity of the laser. Now we're going to start fracturing. We want to keep it inside this range. And just wait for that to fill up, and it's going to break exactly as it did before. Okay, and there we go. And then we can right click to turn it into extraction mode, and we can extract all of these little bits. So whereas we did this with a hand miner and we only managed to pick up 10 pieces, and they were quite small, this is going to allow us to pick up a lot more. If I press I... Nope, sorry, I was not the right button. I can actually see, I'd have to go out, but I can see I've got on there, it says 2.7 CSCU. So I can have a total of 80 of these, and I've got 2.7 from that one rock. So I can do all of these, and I can crack them all first if I want to, and then pick them all up. It's up to me how I do this. But the idea is to get them cracked, and then to get them picked up. So we're getting close to optimal. There we go, we're in optimal. We're going to bring this right down so it's nice in the middle. And much, much quicker than before. Obviously we're in a much more powerful vehicle. We're doing bigger boulders. We can't do these with a hand miner. And this is rock mining on a grander scale. Can we start on the next one? Now the next level up from this is we do it in a mining ship. So not in a ground vehicle, but in an actual ship. Like what we saw with the Prospector. And we can come down here with the bigger rocks. We can scan for them. Those were the ones at a bigger distance. And with that ship, we can just crack the bigger rocks. And suck it all up. We don't even need to get out of the seat. We can do it all from the driver's chair. So you can see the difference between a hand tool, using the rock, and then if we eventually move up to using a Prospector and do it all from within the cockpit of the ship. Just different opportunities for us. Alright, now we'll go for this one. And we can do all of these at once, or we can do some. You can do one and then pick it up. It's up to you how you want to do it. And the worst thing that could happen to you at this point is somebody sees you doing this from the sky, comes down and decides to attack you, but this is why you want to pick an area away from everyone else. You want to pick a planet, a part of that planet, because ultimately it's going to be quite hard for people to find you unless they're following you, unless they just get lucky.
Extraction mode on.
Alright, so now we're going to extraction mode. We'll pick all of these little ones up. Nice and easy. We don't even have to get out to the rock to do this. It can be a little bit tricky picking them up sometimes. You can always move if you need to. Get a better angle. As long as you're aiming in the general direction, it should pick it all up for you. And we're only really interested in the Hadonite. That's all we really want. You can spend quite a lot of time searching. That's the difficulty of this. And it can take you hours. But it can also be really relaxing. As long as you don't come up to any bugs like what I had. That was unfortunate trying to get this out of the ship. There's another one just over there. There's a couple more just here. Alright, perfect. So there's actually a couple underneath the ship. I parked the ship a little bit too close to these, which is not ideal really. And also you can see there's some more on the floor here that I missed. So I'll just grab those. And already we're up to 10. Oh, there's actually loads over here as well. Look, they fractured all the way over there. I could even see one there. You want to kind of make sure you pick them all up. Excellent. Alright, and then we continue. So if you can get a cluster of about 10 of these, that's great. But you'll see the difference in what we're doing now and how much we make as a result of this. So every time we do these jobs, we make a little bit more money. The process becomes slightly easier, the ships become slightly better. Okay. Gonna crack this one. No, we do not want to overcharge this one. It's so close to the ship that if we overcharge this, we could end up blowing the ship up. That would be a real problem. In fact, I'm a little bit nervous that we are so close to the ship. I kind of want to move it. But we're going to take the risk for the purpose of this video not being longer than it needs to be. Now the intensity is going down, so I need to move the laser. And as I move the laser, it will start to get better. It's finding that sweet spot on the rock. Right, we're in that optimal zone. We're going to hold it there. Going up towards the higher end of that, so we're going to bring it down a bit more. Bring that, there we go. Keep bringing it down. Down at 36% on the laser now. Perfect. Okay, 2 more to go here. So this is 0.05 in terms, 0.85 in terms of mass, 60% resistance, which is easy, not very much instability, 77% hadonite and 22% inert materials, which are pretty useless to us. Okay. Nice easy one to crack here. Hopefully the ship's okay. Let's do that last one. Actually, I'm going to move so I can see a bit better. There we go. And this is Hadanite mining. Very profitable. Very good early game loop for you to get into. If you enjoy this kind of thing, it's very relaxing. You can just sit on a planet, put some music on and chill out. And you can get some very, very big rocks that actually need 2 or 3 of you with, you know, different vehicles, different ships, explosive charges, depending on the gear you've got set up. And it can be a challenge in itself just trying to break some of these rocks. I mean, it can be a challenge just trying to find some of these rocks, but yeah, once you find them. Alright, let's pick all of this up. And then we're going to head out. And we can find ourselves another patch of rocks. And the process repeats itself. And you might think this is a really boring game loop and you're not interested, but when you see how much money we make for this, again, we're going to more than double what we've currently got. So we're just doing things on a grander scale now. The question is, are we going to make more than 100k? And if we do make 100k, would you prefer to mine rocks on planets like this, or would you prefer to go and do the FPS and shoot people? Different people, different playstyles. But for now, we're just going to finish picking all these up. It does take some time. And I'm well aware we're an hour and 10 minutes into this video. A lot of that was obviously just the moving around and getting onto location. But let's do one more set. We'll see what we get. Okay, I think that's pretty much it. Picked everything up here. No, there's one more. Alright, I think that's good. We got everything. Looks like we did. Unless there was one there that I just saw. There was. Don't want to miss any. Alright, we're good. So that's managed to pick everything up, which is great. Alright, I can put my mining arm away. And I can put myself in here. So again, I can back it in. Kind of a little bit easier if you back it in. I find it is anyway. Can try not to get caught on those chairs. Right, because then we can just back it in all the way up. And then engine off. Y to get out. Alright. And then all we need to do is come and shut the back door. Make sure we do that. And we're in, so away we go. I might have gone a bit too far back on that, but that's good. We're in. Alright. And we need to do that again. That whole process. So we just rinse and repeat. We get a bit more comfortable. Gets a bit easier.
Engines online.
Right, we take off. And we send out a ping.
Landing gear up.
So we know that they're around in the area, so that's good. Oh, there's some more just over there. Now, I don't know if that was a rock form. I think this might be what we saw before. The big rocks, because these small ones showed up. So we'll go and have a look over here. But I have a feeling these are going to be big rocks and not these small ones. We'll check. Yeah, they're bigger rocks. You can tell they're bigger rocks. They're different different style, different sizes. They're much bigger rocks, and it's actually pointing to those big boulders there. We are not in a position. I mean, I will scan them just so that you can see them and understand what they are. We can do a scan if we're on that. Oh, we might need to even be a bit closer to do that. It might not work, so let's just jump in a bit closer here. I'll do a scan. Nope, doesn't even want to scan it. There we go. They kind of need to get that outline of the rock. There we go. Nope, doesn't want to scan it. Oh, well, I was... Okay, maybe now? No. It's being a bit temperamental where it doesn't want to scan it. I'm pretty sure you can scan it in any ship. I don't think it has to be a prospector ship. But anyway, it's not... There we go. It's for some reason not working. And I'm not going to spend my time on this because I think it'd be a bit of a waste. It's not scanning. But this is basically a much bigger rock, which can be made up of different things. So we can come and check that out and look. But we don't have the right ship. We don't have the right material. So there's nothing we can do. So there's no point us wasting our time. We are looking for these smaller rocks. The ones that show up within the 5 kilometer of the ping. So we're going to head in this direction. Alright, we'll head over towards that mountain range. That's too far out because that's 8 kilometers out. So we know that's going to be big boulders. But we'll head over there because on the way we might find some smaller ones. We're looking for anything within 5 kilometers. So we just keep that ping going. Just keeping an eye on the whole screen. Seeing if anything pops up. That one again, 8 kilometers out. It's too far for us. Yep, big boulders. We're going to ignore those. Yep, that's fine. We'll be able to, when we get back, go and upgrade that or go and get some more of that. We can put it into a faster mode if we want to. Go a bit faster. That one about 8 kilometers out, it's too far. I want to go too high. Nope, nothing around here. And this is where it can become really frustrating when you're just looking around. You have to find the right spots and you'll get used to it. You'll find spots that you like, find spots that work. Around here, unfortunately, at the moment, not a lot going on. Normally, I do find the mounting areas are the better ones. Oh, turn off. I'll tell you what I need to turn off. This is why I'm struggling to go at the moment. I need to turn off, and I don't know where it is, but I need to turn off VTOL. No, it's not there. There'll be one of the buttons. Nope, I don't want to do that, because then we're going to crash. I need to find out where VTOL is. So I'm going to press... Lift up that. Alright, I'm going to have to go into escape options. I'm going to have to go into keybinds. And I can look on here and it should tell me quickly where to find it. So I'm looking for what's called VTOL, which is vertical takeoff and landing. It's K. K button. Okay. So I can come out of this and I can press K. There we go. So now I'll be able to go a lot faster. So sometimes it's nice to have VTOL on because it does allow you to go slower, but sometimes you go a bit too slow. So we're going to put it back into scan mode. There we go. And we're going to start sending out those pings. And now we're just going to move a little bit quicker. So now you're getting a bit more confident, a bit more used to it. You start to move a bit quicker around the map, go a lot faster. You can cover a lot more ground a lot quicker. There we go, that one's 8 kilometers out, so a bit too far. But we'll head in that general direction. That one's 9.3, again a bit too far out. We're looking for stuff within 5. There we go, one right there. That we can see that one just picked up at about 2 kilometers out. So we know that because it's under 5 kilometers in the ping. We know that's good, so we'll put down our landing gear. We'll start to head down. Now the trick is we found one. What is it? So as we get close enough, it will start to identify where it is. Okay, it still says it's... Huh. Where does it say they are? There. Okay, perfect. Oh wow, this is a big clump. I really, really hope this is Hadanite. It looks like it could possibly be. A bit too far out to tell at the moment. It's either going to be blue or purple. Let's have a look, shall we? No, it's blue. It is blue. You can see it is. So you can see really clear now that that's blue. We will, again, if you want to, just do a scan. Just to make sure. But we know that's blue.
Launch complete.
Alright, so if we need to do that, hold on to scan it. Yep, Aphorite, as we noticed, it is 52% Aphorite as well. It's not even that good. It's a nice little clump, but it's not what we're looking for, unfortunately. So off we go in the search for some more. Oh, there's another one here, 2.3 kilometers in front of us. That's quite nice. We'll go and look at that. We'll lift the landing gear up just so we go a bit faster.
Landing gear up.
And we'll keep pinging as well, just in case anything else comes out on the radar. Oh no, these ones are big rocks. That must have been the one we saw out before. Okay. Yep, this one as well we know was outside. Yep, big rocks there as well. So we're going to keep scanning, keep looking. Okay. That one's 8.4, so that's too far out. Still looking. And again, very much like the caves, there's the frustration with the caves. You might find yourself, when you're doing this, it gets a little bit of frustration. Oh, one's just showing up there, 2.2. That's perfect. We'll stick the landing gear down.
Landing gear down.
Yep. We'll have a look at this one here, because we know it's not far. We can actually take the landing gear off because we've still got a little way to go. It just slows us down.
Landing gear up. Landing gear down.
There was definitely something here. I don't know where it's gone. Okay. Well, that's very unfortunate. Oh, it's over there. Wow, okay, I must have really overshot that. There we go, nice little clump. If they're a nice small clump together like that as well, it's pretty good indicator it's going to be small. The bigger rocks tend to be a bit more spaced out. Oh, this could be good. No, it looks like it's blue. Actually, no, this one, in fact, this one looks like it's green. This could be a Dullabine, which we don't actually want. So we're gonna just scan it to make sure, just to be absolutely certain. So I'm pretty sure that's green, though. Oh, it's Aphorite. It is blue. Okay. Bit of inert in there, but yep, not what we're looking for, unfortunately. And away we go for more. There's another one over there, 2.8 kilometers out. Now I don't know if that was one that was there before. So we're going to just lift up the landing gear and head over. Quickly check it out.
Landing gear up. Landing gear down.
Okay, what's this one here? I think that might be bigger rocks, right? Oh, no. We might be good. Only a small clump. Yes, that is looking good to me. I'm going to just double check before I get out because it's always good practice. Like visually you can confirm, but it's always good to scan. I want to see hadonite. Boom, hadonite. Perfect. Alright. So now we know we've got hadonite here. Same as before. We'll land.
Engines offline.
And engines off. And this is the process. So again, it is a lot more time consuming. People say, oh, but if you can do this in an hour. If you get really lucky, I guess you could do it in an hour if you're like super lucky and very on point. But I don't know. It'd be really difficult, I think, to actually knock this out. By the time you leave and get back, yeah, you can see just how much effort is involved. Oh, all right. Let's jump off. Okay, that was much easier. Let's get the mining arm out. And let's get back inside.
Mining mode on.
Alright, here we are. So mining mode is on. There's only a few here this time, so we'll just work through a few of these. That's on extractor mode. We want fracture mode. Okay. There's about 8 here, so not bad, but it's not going to fill us up. Now, depending on how long you want to stay out for as well and do this, you can fill up the rock, you can fill up your cutlass, you can fill up your own inventory. So you can stash these everywhere. But at the moment, we're just going to fill up the rock. Alright, that one's done. Start on the next one. Okay, going to try to save as much time as possible this time. Do them all as quickly as we can. And get up to 100% until we get really close and then whack it straight down. Make sure we don't overcharge it and then just bring it back up again. Just to try and hold it in that level. Now the rock's more than going to have paid for itself with this. The cutlass black as well. But again, you've got to decide as to whether this is something you want to spend your time doing. If you enjoy this sort of thing, that's great. Searching, some people enjoy this. Me personally, I prefer shooting people. So I would rather do 100k an hour shooting people than 100k an hour doing this. But let's see what we get when we get back. It's also good to know how long it actually takes without all of the cutting. Because I could have cut this video and made it 10 minutes. But you're getting to see in real time. So we'll see how long it's going to take and how much we make. And then we can figure out what's profitable and what's not. Alright.
Extraction mode on.
We'll go into extraction mode. Just pick these ones up that we just got. Now I've left the back open for the ship, so if anyone stole my ship I would be heartbroken. I'd have to literally just drive back. But if anyone finds me out here, well, and they decide they're going to grief me, then that's just unlucky. If you have a two-man crew, you can work together. One person can be flying around looking for the next set while you're picking these up, and they can come back and pick you up. That's always an option. You can set down markers. Okay.
Fraction mode on.
A few more rocks here. This is good. We're up to 31.8. So, almost halfway there. Get into that optimal range. Trying to keep it just under halfway because it sometimes does spike and it can catch you out if you're not careful. But if it goes down too much, a little bit more pressure and it will just sit in the middle. And this is rock mining, literally, in a rock. Again, I think it'd be really interesting when there's a lot more demand for materials and a lot more materials. You'll be going onto certain planets, getting certain materials, they'll be used for construction. This will become a very, very valuable profession, I think. Because this is going to underpin the backbone of the economy inside the game. You can have all the big warships, you can have all the weapons, but if you can't make them, they're pretty much worthless. And the supply and demand of what's required is going to really push the price of these people. So, whilst this might be a boring job, it's probably going to be a really well paid one. Especially if you're a solo player, somebody that wants to make some money but doesn't want to get into a big fight with lots of different players. It may even be that at some point when we have guilds, and we already have them now, but it might be that someone provides overwatch. You might have a ship above just watching you, protecting you whilst you do this. You know, maybe you assign 2 people to it. And there might be some more lucrative areas that are more traffic hotspots. So there could be a whole fight going on in the sky while you're sitting down here on the ground just peacefully, music on, mining away. Okay, we'll do one more rock after this, then we'll collect them all, pick them all up and see what we got. Excellent. So it doesn't take too long. Once you get into the actual breaking of the rocks, it doesn't take that long. It's the finding them that's the challenge. And that really it depends on a few things. One, it depends on your flying skill. I've shown you different ways to do it. From the nice slow start, takes a while, to the faster approach where you're more confident as a navigator. But that is definitely the hardest part. But it used to be a lot harder. You used to have tables where you had to work out compositions, and there were different RSI numbers, and it was really, they've made it a lot easier now. If it's over 5 kilometers on the ping, it's a big rock. If it's under 5 kilometers on the ping, it's a small rock. That's obviously from when it registers the ping. Alright, let's pick all of these up and get out of here. See how much we're going to get for our hard work. Okay, so almost at 40, which will make us halfway there. So it's about between 3 to 4 you're going to need. 3 to 4 clusters, and it depends on the size of the cluster as well as to what you get from it. Okay. There we go. We're halfway there now. So we're going to have to find one more. Or we could go in now. I think it has been an hour and a half. We could just go in now if we wanted to. We've got to. And see how much we get from this. And then we can work out, if we were to stay out, what we would actually get as a result. Now, I'm obviously quite aware of time. It's an hour and 30 minutes. I'm happy to stay out. But I'm only going to do one more load. So I'm not going to make sure it's... Because I could stay out and absolutely fill up, as I said, the rock, the cutlass black, my own personal inventory. If I had an SCU on me, I could fill that up as well. Like... I could put a lot of stuff in here. Now, the longer you stay out, the more risk, right? Because if you do get caught or you have a problem or whatever, you could end up in a lot more risk as a result of that. At the moment, I'm over halfway full. Did I lose some bits over here? There's no way. Really? Wow. Okay. They flew for miles. Oh. I don't even know how they got there. Look at that. They flew all the way back here. That's insane. Alright, we're going to go and pick them up. That's absolutely crazy. Oh, look, there's some more over here we missed. We missed loads. Grab this one. Alright, I think that might be it. Yeah, that looks good. Alright, we'll put that away. Again, absolutely beautiful. If you look at just the vastness of the land, it's absolutely incredible. Alright, let's jump on. I'm going to back up. And we're pretty solid there, that's good. Gonna get that shut. And we'll go and find one more. Now again, it's a good idea. You're going to be out here for quite a while to bring some water with you, bring some food with you. We're okay at the moment. Also, depending on the planet you're on, you might need certain gear to protect you from heat or maybe even not heat. It could be to protect you from the cold. Alright. Let's go and look for some more. Now we might get lucky and find some quite nearby. Let's see. Oh, look at that. We just found some. We actually just found some. We're going to have to stop there. That was very unexpected. So, that should be right there. See what that is. We'll get close enough to it. I don't actually know where it is though. Oh, there. Well, okay, right. Look at that big clump there. Come on, if that's Hadnite, this would be absolutely perfect for us. It's not. It's not Hadnite, unfortunately. It looks too green. I'm going to just take off and aim down. I need to scan that. I can't tell. It's Aphrodite. Okay, no. Alright, well, it was good to see it. Nice that it just popped up right underneath us like that, though. Gives me hope that we might be able to find some more. Oh, we're going to head over this way. There's no right or wrong way to do this. You can see from the scan we're picking up some RS signatures. It shows us on the top right there. We're not really interested in those. Too far out, that one, unfortunately. But we will head towards it. You never know. Oh, that's another one there. That's 8 kilometers out. So those two, unfortunately, a bit too far out. Oh, we'll just go between them. Wow, nothing really out here. Okay. Still hopeful. Head towards this big ball in the distance, and hopefully we're going to stumble across something very soon. Nope, absolutely nothing out here. Okay. Now, we could always go back up and come back down again. We don't really want to waste any more time. We're going to hope we get lucky. We're going to head over this way so it's a bit more mountainous over here. Something going on over there. I don't know what that is. I don't particularly want to go too far over there for that. There is a mountain range in front of us. One looks a bit too far out though. That one's another 8 kilometers out. It's too far. Alright, we're going to get ready to go. Our hydrogen fuel is getting a bit low. We need to be ready to leave. If we don't find anything here, we need to head off. There we go. There's one right there. Alright, this is going to be the last one. Whatever this is, we're either going to have to take it.
Landing gear down.
Where is it? Looks like it's down there. Is that just one? On its own? It's just one rock on its own. That is so sad. I'm not even going to get out for that. No, I'm not even going to get out for that. That's just sad.
Landing gear up.
Alright, over these mountains, if there's nothing, we're going to head back. Because we're running out of hydrogen. And we don't want to get stranded. Alright, I think that's us. Yep, we're going to head back. There's nothing else out here. I can't see anything. These two. There are some big rocks here, but they're too far out. Nope. Alright, that's us. Alright, we tried. We'll switch back to Quantum. Get some full speed going here. Head out. So it was good for us to be able to experience. Alright, now we're high enough up. We can F2. And we're going to look for SCD1, which is where we was. We're going to route back to there. Now the reason we're going to go back here is not for the same reason as before. Before we got the rock. We're not too bothered about getting the rock this time. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to go and sell what we got and pick up something else. Okay, just 22 kilometers to go. I feel like we've just covered thousands of kilometers. We do not want to crash right now with a rock in with all that gear, and we'd lose that 2 hours if we did, so we're going to take it nice and easy on approach. So we're not going too fast. We're just going to land at the facility and we're going to sell all of this Hadnite that we got. Whilst we're here... Uh-oh, that is not good. We do not want that. We're off. We do not want that. We're going to go over here. We're going to quantum travel out. And we're just going to wait and let that person... Alright, we're just going to wait and let that person do their thing. The last thing we want is to get into a fight when we're not really prepared to. Alright, so that's where we want to go and land. Now we're just gonna chill up here and wait for a few minutes. I'll wait for that guy to go and then we'll continue. Okay. Let's have another go, shall we? Hopefully there's no one here. If there is, well, we've got two options. We can either fly into the mining facility where we're going to be protected by the amnesty, or we can get into a fight. I don't really want to get into a fight right now, so if they're still here, and I'm hoping they're not, but if they are, we're just going to switch to shields. And we're going to try and avoid them as best we can and just try and land. Right, our hydrogen fuel is very low, so we do need to get back. They've landed. Alright, there we go. Nice and easy. Hopefully we're not being targeted anymore. There's no one here. Okay. We're coming in. We're actually coming in quite hot.
Landing gear down.
Okay. So we're going to land. That must have been the other player that we saw that targeted us. But we're good, we're not going to fight them. We're just simply going to come and land. Yep, they've got their back down, we can see. We're going to land on here. Because we're in an armistice zone, we're okay. We're pretty safe. Nice. Alright, good job. Now we can turn our engines off.
Engines offline.
And because we're in an armistice zone, we can't shoot each other. Which is nice. Now, we didn't fill the rock up. We could have filled the rock up. We could have also filled up the Cutlass Black. We could have stayed out a lot longer. Could have done a lot more. Obviously, we didn't do that. So, we're just going to head down instead. what we're looking for this time is a different terminal, actually. There you go, they've just spawned their vehicles. You can see they're about to go in. We are going to head in over here. This is actually not the right building, but we're going to, whilst we're in here anyway, we're going to loot this box. Yeah, we can actually take that and put it into the local if we wanted to. There's a pair of legs there. That's where you can sometimes find armor and things. There's another one here. Sometimes you can find stuff. We'll take that drink. Always good to have a spare drink on us. I don't think there's going to be anything else in here. Nope. But we're going to head out. This was actually the wrong one we come into. I think it could be this building here. It's the same as if you would do your deliveries. You'll come into the room. You'll know the room when you see it. It'll be this one. So this is the room with a guy. Oh, there's actually a box here. So we can loot this one as well. Wow, look, we've got quite a lot of gear in this one. All we're going to do is swap this over to the local. So, could be some gear that we can sell later. But we're trying this. This is what we wanted, is the commodity shop. So now we're in the commodity shop. We can select our location. We want our rock, which sometimes doesn't show up. Because it's not actually showing up. It's showing up as the... yeah, it's not actually showing up on there, unfortunately. So if that ever happens, and it can sometimes happen, it doesn't show up, then all we need to do is just head back out. We need to go back into the ship. There's our ship there. So we just need to go and grab all of that material, and then we can just chuck it into local, and we can sell it that way. Sometimes it's good to do that just to start with anyway, just to save the hassle of this. We're going to come to the back of this. We're going to open up the storage. We're going to go to local. We're going to go to vehicle, or to external, sorry. And there's 466 here, so we're going to swap that over. Now remember, that was half full. That was half full. Well, just over half, because it can take up to... We could get up to 800. So we got 466. Oh, I thought I shut that. Always close it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at what it would take for 400, because then we can just double that, and that's what we could earn if we stayed out a little bit longer. Okay. So we go to the commodity shop. Select location. This time we can just go for the ROC Mining facility, and there we go. We got the Hadnite on there. Now again, if we wanted to sell, we said 400 units. Can't actually select exactly 400. Oh. Yeah, I can. So 400 units is going to get us 110k. Okay, so that's 110k. Now, if we'd filled the rock up, the rock would have, if it was full, 220k. So we could have got 250,000 units if we'd have filled that rock up. What we actually got was 128k. So that turns out that we got 128k for 2 hours of rock mining. That's our day 4. That more than covers everything that we spent. So we're going to go ahead and sell that. So by selling that now, we've now got a balance. Let's just come out and come back into this. We've now got a balance of 245k. So we made 128k and we've got 245 total now. So what we can do with that, something slightly different, just for the end of this video. I know it's been a long video, but now we're going to do something slightly different. What we're going to do here is we're going to select our Drake Cutlass Black and we're going to buy some gold. But in order to do that, we need to remove the rock because we don't want the rock anymore.
You're looking for the vehicle terminal.
So what we're going to do is we're going to get in the rock, we're going to drive it out, so that because we don't need it anymore. We can always come and pick it up again if we need to, but we want the storage space inside here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to fill this up with gold and we're going to fly that back. And that way we're going to be able to make even more money. So we're being more efficient now. But we'll do that in the next video because that's going to be trading. So that will be for next time. Alright. We can literally just leave that there. It's off. That's all it needed to be. Now people aren't going to be happy with the fact we just left that there and it's not very nice. So it would be a lot better if we removed it. But it's off, which is what counts. Kind of need a... You'd imagine you'd have a key fob, wouldn't you? You'd be able to lock your ship up and shut all the doors with a key fob this day and age, but well, apparently not. They'll have to press a button. Right, we're running out of hydrogen as well, so we do need to go and fill up at a station at some point as well. Alright, so here we go. Commodity shop. We're going to select our Drake Cutlass Black. We have all of this cargo grid here. We can pick up gold. We can actually pick up 240k, which is going to give us 43 SCU, which is almost... That's almost us full, because we've got 46 cargo slots available, but we can only pick up 43 gold, because that's all the money we've got. We're going to go ahead and we're going to buy that. Right, and then what we're going to do is we're going to take that back with us. Right, but we're going to do that in the next video. We're not going to do that right now. We're going to buy that gold. Now, that is our entire budget. If we have any problems on the way back and we don't make it, we're going to go back to New Babbage. We're going to go and land and we're going to sell it. If we have any problems at all, then we're going to be starting again from scratch. So, join us in the next video and see if we're lucky enough to space hop with some gold, do a bit of trading, and make a little bit more money on top. Alright, I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Thanks for your time. Bye-bye.